She told me over dinner, a regular Thursday evening. Plates of lasagna cooling on the table, the soft of the refrigerator filling the spaces between our conversation. It wasn't even said in anger or desperation, just a matter-of-fact tone that made my skin crawl. "I want to see other guys," she said, as casually as if she were mentioning the weather. "I feel like I've missed out on life." I stared at her, fork frozen halfway to my mouth. For a moment, I thought I hadn't heard her correctly, but her expression was clear. There was no shame, no hesitation, just conviction. It felt like a punch to the gut, the kind that left you breathless and doubled over. "Excuse me?" My voice was cold, clipped. She sighed, setting her fork down with an exaggerated exhale, as if she were the one carrying some unbearable burden. "Come on, Adam. We've been married for 8 years. Don't you ever wonder what else is out there? Who else is out there? I love you, but I think I need more." My hands clenched around the silverware. "You think you need more?" Yes, her eyes locked on mine, daring me to argue. "I've been talking to someone." And there it was. The unspoken truth I'd ignored for months, dismissing the late-night texts and secretive smiles as harmless. The lies I told myself to keep our marriage intact shattered in an instant. My stomach churned, and my pulse pounded in my ears. "Who?" The word came out like a growl. Her lips pressed into a thin line. "Does it matter?" "Yes, it matters." "Who?" Her defiance faltered for a moment, her gaze dropping to the table. But then she squared her shoulders. "His name is Tyler. He works at the gym." I'd met Tyler once or twice, young, cocky, and full of himself. The kind of guy who thrived on attention and flexing in mirrors. I hadn't thought much of him at the time, but now his smirk burned in my memory like a brand. I stood abruptly, the chair scraping against the floor. Claire flinched, but I didn't care. I needed air, space. Anything but the suffocating weight of betrayal. "Where are you going?" she asked, her voice tinged with irritation, as if I were overreacting. "Out!" I snapped, grabbing my keys. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in my truck in the driveway, staring at the darkened house and replaying every moment of our marriage. The laughs, the arguments, the quiet mornings over coffee. How had it come to this? By morning, I had a plan. Claire thought she held all the cards. She thought she could humiliate me, toss our marriage aside like an old pair of shoes, and get away with it. But she underestimated me. I wasn't going to beg or plead. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to make her regret ever crossing me. The first step was gathering evidence. If Claire wanted to act like a single woman, I would treat her as such. Over the next week, I played the perfect husband, acting as if nothing had changed. She bought it, of course. Her guilt, if she had any, buried beneath her thrill at her newfound freedom. Meanwhile, I hired a private investigator, discreet but thorough. He provided me with photos, texts, and even video evidence of her and Tyler together. It was worse than I'd imagined. Late-night meetings, hotel rooms, stolen kisses in the parking lot of the gym. They weren't even subtle. The second step was confrontation. Not with Claire. Not yet. With Tyler. I waited for the right moment, and it came one Friday evening, when I knew he'd be closing up the gym. I walked in just as he was locking the doors. He looked up, surprised but not alarmed. "Hey, man, gym's closed," he said, flashing that infuriating grin. "I'm not here to work out," I replied, my voice steady. "I'm here to talk about Claire." The grin faltered, and for a moment I saw a flicker of fear in his eyes. I don't know what you're talking about." "Cut the crap, Tyler. I know everything." He took a step back, his bravado crumbling. "Look, man, I didn't mean what? To screw another man's wife." My voice rose, echoing in the empty gym. "You think you're some kind of hotshot? Taking what isn't yours? You're nothing but a coward." He stammered, but I didn't let him finish. I stepped closer, towering over him. "Stay away from her. If I see you near her again, you'll regret it." By the time I left, he looked like a scared puppy. Good. Let him squirm. The third step was Claire. I waited for her to come home from her supposed girls' night, armed with a folder of evidence and a resolve as cold as ice. when she walked through the door laughing at a text on her phone. I was sitting in the living room, the folder on the coffee table. "We need to talk," I said. She froze, the smile vanishing from her face. "What's this about?" "Sit down." Reluctantly, she obeyed. I slid the folder toward her. "Open it." Her hands trembled as she flipped through the contents. Her face went pale, and her eyes darted to mine. "Adam," "I can explain." "Don't." My voice was sharp. "Don't insult me with lies. You wanted other guys? Congratulations. You got one. But now everyone's going to know what kind of woman you really are." Her eyes widened. "What do you mean?" I leaned back, arms crossed. "I've sent copies of this to your parents, your friends, and your boss. By Monday, your little secret will be public knowledge." She gasped, horror etched across her face. You wouldn't." "Try me." Tears streamed down her cheeks, but I felt nothing. No pity, no remorse. She'd made her bed, and now she would lie in it. The fallout was swift and brutal. Her parents disowned her. Her friends abandoned her. Her boss fired her for violating company values. Tyler quit the gym, unable to face the whispers and stares. Claire's perfect little world crumbled, leaving her isolated and humiliated. As for me, I moved on. I filed for divorce and sold the house, using the money to start fresh. I'd wasted enough years on someone who didn't deserve me. It was time to reclaim my life. And Claire? She'll think twice before betraying someone again.